This is truly the highlight of my year, as we get a chance to celebrate the achievements of this wonderful group of graduating seniors. They are the heart of our program. Their curiosity, their dedication, and their enthusiasm drive everything we do. To the graduating seniors, I'd like to acknowledge how tremendously challenging these past 2 years have been. That you're here is a testament to your resilience, your courage, and your effort. The faculty and I applaud your strength and your tenacity. We are very proud of you, and we can't wait to see what you do next. During this virtual ceremony, we'll have a student speech, messages of congratulations from our faculty, several prizes and citations, and the awarding of the long-anticipated and richly deserved academic degrees. The first part of today's program is a speech by one of our graduating honors students, Bonmu. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ku.
If you want to know about birds, you have to study their wings. And if you want to know about humans, you have to study the language. Tonight, I want to share with you 2 defining questions that have served as my guiding lights until this very meaningful day, our final day as students. The first question is Plato's question, as coined by Professor Chomsky, which asks you, how can we know so much when the span of our learnings is so short and limited? This explores the language as a window to our complex cognitive ability to convert linguistic experience into a system of knowledge. And every one of you here tonight stand as a prime example. So after this ceremony, go open your laptops and browse your old discussion notes and essays you have produced with your wise professors and curious classmates. And know this, that the total size of those files would be large, but the wisdom that you will carry forward would be even larger. Know this, that our parents and loved ones next to us would testify to our development from babies who only spoke a few syllables to mature scholars, even though our precious time here at Berkeley was relatively brief. But the second question I really want to share with you tonight is Orwell's question, which asks the exact opposite. How can we know so little when our learnings are so rich? This question explores the language as a power, as a shaping force that lies behind every important social and political phenomena. We live in a very technologically and culturally advanced time, where there is and should be no practical barrier to understand and connect with the people of different beliefs, different languages, and different faith. But we also live in a very difficult time during this pandemic, where the hateful language, irresponsible rhetoric, and malicious misinformation often target the people who are most vulnerable in exercising the power and rights of their language. I came from South Korea, where we say 쓰다, the mask, instead of wearing it. I came to the United States with the support of my family to study English, the language of opportunity for many of us. And that was never easy. I often found myself waking up at the school library or sometimes even in the bathroom stall because I had to study twice harder to read, write, and think in a language different from my own. But as the final day of my final semester approached, I felt like I came through, ready to rejoice the fruits of hard work. But on March 16th, a mass shooting in Atlanta took the lives of many innocent people, including strong, dedicated Asian mothers. They came here from the same place, with the same purpose as I did. They took the jobs that did not necessarily align with their talents, but had to because of the language barrier. They loved their children unconditionally and would have been at their graduation ceremony, just as we are tonight. I would never be able to fully comprehend their grief, nor would I be able to find a perfect answer to Orwell's question. But the answer that I do know is that their legacy speaks to their dignity and to the language of love and strength that we must draw upon. The answer that I do know is that language and rhetoric can sometimes hurt us, but at the same time, they can provide us the momentum to rise above cynicism and hate. And I know that everyone here tonight, you have the same experience somewhere in your life. Because when I look back, I did not learn the language of English at Berkeley. I learned the language of diversity, historically significant expressions of indigenous people and immigrants. I learned the language of understanding, pronouns that best describes person's unique identity. And most importantly, I learned the language of the heart. So as I leave this campus tonight, the only regret I have is not being able to spend more time with you communicating the language of the heart because of the pandemic. This is not the first virtual commencement ceremony we had in this trying time. But I believe now more than ever that this will be our last virtual ceremony. I believe now more than ever that despite our facial masks, despite our physical distances, we will remain committed to speaking the language of the heart. And when the pandemic is completely and eventually over, we will gather once again and rejoice and remember tonight in person. Thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2020 and 21.